Have you ever tried backing an RV into a campsite by yourself? What if your spouse isn't available to guide you? Well, today, I'm going to check out what might be the ultimate RV visibility upgrade. The Auto Vox 3-camera wireless RV backup system. We're going to see if this thing is built for RV life or just another Amazon gadget destined for the junk pile. So a little while ago, Auto Vox contacted me and asked if I would like to check out this 3-camera RV backup system. And I tell you what, I've actually been looking for something just like this. In fact, on one of my wish lists is a much more expensive version of basically the same thing. This is a little bit more of a budget model, and that's right up my alley. So we're going to see what's in here. We're going to install it. We're going to test it out, see how it works. So, quick unboxing here. I know unboxing videos have seen their time, but we're going to just take a quick look and see what's in here. Okay, all right, so let's see. This is the monitor. I like the size of it. It's very compact, yet wide enough, I think, to handle the view from all 3 cameras. We've got, see, it looks like dual antennas for the monitor. And then these are the antennas for the cameras themselves. This is what's cool. These things actually wire in. It's a wireless, well, wireless as far as the signal, but it gets power from the marker lights on your RV. So you've got one for each side. This actually replaces the marker light on each side, both left and right sides, and you see the camera in the back there. And you just wire that right into your 12-volt system. So you've got one of each of those. Then this is the main camera here. Now, these are compatible with the pre-wired Furrion system, where it literally just plugs right in the back, and you just stick this right in the mount that's designed for the Furrion system. Mine is not pre-wired for the Furrion system, so I'm going to have to... So it actually comes with a little adapter here. Let's see, and there's all kinds of little wires and goodies. Okay, so here, this is what I'm going to have to do. Plug this in here. Is that right? Yeah, and then I'm going to have to wire this into my 12-volt system. I'll actually remove the center marker light in the back, wire this into the 12-volt, and then I'll put the marker light back. I'm not going to cover up the marker light. I'll put this right underneath it. So, and that should work just fine. I'm not a master electrician by any means, but I think I can tap into a 12-volt setup. So, anyways, that's the gist of it. We're going to get started, and it's all wireless. You don't have to run any extenders or any boosters, because apparently it has enough range it'll get from the back of the travel trailer up to the cab of the truck, where we're going to have the monitor installed. So let's get this thing installed and see how it works. First we're going to cut around the outside. Try not to cut our fingers off. Get that rubber seal off of there. I'm just going to gently pry this off here. There we go. All right. Okay, so this little backing piece is actually rubberized, so it's going to provide a pretty good seal. We'll probably put some silicone over the top anyways, just to be safe, but to get that to seal right, we got to remove all this goo right here. So use a razor blade, try to trim some of that off. Glad I don't have to do this with the main backup cam or the center cam, because I'm going to be up on a ladder doing that, and that is going to be tricky. So with that one, we're leaving the marker light in place. That is not as clean as I like it, but this is going to be covering most of those scratches that I just made, and we will definitely be putting a little extra silicone around the edges after we're finished, just to be safe. So the cleaner the surface, the better we're going to get, but also because we've got these little ridge lines in here, it's not going to be perfectly flush, so we're really going to have to depend on that silicone, but we can bead that up in there afterwards. So let's go ahead and see positive, negative. This should be positive and negative, but we'll test that out. Save that in case we ever decide to reattach that. All right, so I've got this cleaned up pretty good. I've got my positive and my negative there. Put it in these Wago connectors. So just so you can see how easy these things are to use. Just pop that right in there. Get it all the way to the back and clamp it shut. There we go. And then of course we do the same thing in here. Get a little tug, make sure it's in there. So again, this isn't as clean as I would like, but so we are going to definitely have to use some silicone to seal that up pretty good. So when we put this on, we make sure that this flat side is facing backwards. Now, we want to make sure the flat side is to the back, and hard to tell for sure, but it looks like that's pretty lined up with that. We don't want it uneven. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 2 screws in the front. These are self-tapping. Make sure we're going the right direction. There we go. Simple enough. Okay, make sure we're good there. Okay, now one thing I'm going to do, and I got this idea actually from another video. I'm not going to put the screws right here, because if we ever decide to switch this out, there are going to be some big holes in the middle here, and I think I want to keep all the holes close to the center. So instead, I'm going to just put 1 screw right here. Now, is it possible, I'm going to put this right here. Now, does that mean that it's not going to seal properly? That is the case, but we are definitely going to put silicone around there, because we're not going to be getting a real tight seal, because I decided to just put that screw there instead. Let's see if I can get it just a little bit tighter. That's stripping that. There we go. So next up, we've got the positive negatives. One of these is for the camera and one is for the light itself. So we're going to get, let's do the negatives first. We're going to pop these right into the white, which is the negative. put it in the wrong side. You know, it'd be no wonder it doesn't want to go in. All right, let's go on this side, the correct side. Pop that down. Give that a little tug. Make sure we're good there. And then we're going to do the same thing for the positive. Let's give that a little tug. Here we go. Alright. So we're going to pop this inside here. Stuff it in there good and tight. We've got two little slots right there. These little ridges pop inside there. Two here, two there. And it goes in the back, and then we just slide that backwards. Pop it into place. There we go. Thread our antenna right here. You can make that so it faces up or down. Because it doesn't really matter. I guess it looks cooler up. I'm going to place it down just so it's a little more kind of out of the way there. We need to put a little locking screw in there. Alright, and then we're going to use this little provided little Allen screw with a little tiny Allen wrench. Thread this right in from the top. That locks everything in place. So we're pretty secure. Now let's see if it lights up. There we go, we've got power, and it seems to be working. Now what I thought was going to end up being the more difficult part of the installation actually might be the easiest part. Taking off this center marker light. There we go, it just peels right off. All right. Okay, I think I'll plug this in, and I'll go check and see if we've got anything on the camera. So I couldn't figure why it worked for a minute and then kept stopping. Now I realized I haven't put the antenna on yet, so let's see if that solves the problem. Because I'm getting a signal, it's just not very strong, and then it drops the signal. So let's see how that works. One of the things I figured out is that rather than have the truck and get in and out of the truck, since I'm here working at the camper, and I can pull the truck around, it's not that big a deal, but just for testing, I've got this little power station, and I'm just going to plug the screen in right here. You get some power, and this should tell me if I'm getting power to the backup cam, the center cam. Cool. Looks like there we go. Okay, so as of this point, of course the camera's not mounted, it is simply plugged in, but we are getting footage from this center camera. So we've got that, we've got one of the side view lights on. So next is to finish mounting this, and then we'll install the final side marker light just like we did the first one. Alright, so let's tuck everything down inside here.
all this wiring up inside here. It's a little warm today, as you can see by the sweat glistening off of my hands. The self-tapping screws went right through that super thin aluminum like no problem. Alright, so I'm not sure where I'm going to mount it yet. Because this is a sticker that's going to be semi-permanently mounted, I was hoping I could maybe kind of wedge that underneath there. Does not seem to be the case. And putting it right there is a little iffy. Probably there's going to be the best bet, but I'm not sure yet. I even thought about, well, when I'm towing the trailer, I can't use the rear view mirror, so I can almost zip tie it right there. That might be, you know what, to start off with. Until I decide where I'm going to put it, I think that's going to be the answer. I'll just get some zip ties or some rubber bands or something and just mount it right there, because again, this does me no good when we're hooked up to the trailer. That's all you can see is the trailer behind me. So I think that's going to be the plan. But for now, we'll just sit it right here. One of the things that I didn't show early on was, let me see, I guess I got to take this off here, is this thing actually comes with a little micro SD card. I think it's like a 32 gigabyte. It actually records while it's on, so that's kind of awesome. It works pretty cool that way. So comes with it. I think they say you can use up to like 125. I don't think you can use the real heavy duty memory ones, but anyways, let's go ahead and just set it right here for now until I figure out where it's going to go permanently, and just run it down here. And it's cool. It's got this what we old folks used to call a cigarette lighter adapter, and actually allows us to plug a USB in there. That's kind of cool. It never hurts to have one more USB connection. And so I'd already connected everything when I was messing with it back in the trailer. Get away, Bigfoot. Or if anybody knows the term Big the Foot, you know, if you know, you know. All right, looks like we're good. We've got the rear backup cam, we've got the side cam. You can see the door of the trailer's open right now, so that's why you can see this right here. And then here's the last one I installed. I actually installed them in a weird order. I did the passenger side first, then I did the back, and then I did the driver's side, just because I'm sitting here parked and I didn't want the ladder. Getting on the ladder for the rear one was going to be the most difficult, so I wanted to get one done and out of the way, figure out how it worked before I moved on to the others. And even though the side ones are pretty easy because I'd never done it, the first one ended up being the most difficult because I just wasn't sure about a couple of things. And then the rear was pretty easy, except I couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting a signal. I had forgot to put the antenna on. Once I got the antenna on, it worked great. And then the third one just went super easy. Pretty amazing. We're heading out on a trip tomorrow. We'll see how the backup into a backup site works. We actually intentionally booked a site with a back-end site campground, so we can test it out. So we'll hit the road tomorrow and find out how it works. All right, I wanted to actually see how well it would work on the rear view mirror. I know this certainly isn't a permanent solution here, but when I'm driving with the trailer, I can't use the rear view mirror anyways. So I thought, let's just see what it looks like up there. For this first trip, I'm just going to throw it up there and see how it goes.
Before we wrap this up, a quick thanks to Auto Vox for sending this camera to test out. I'm really impressed with this camera. It's a breeze to set up, the image is solid, and for the price, it's a great value. I definitely recommend it if you're in the market for a reliable wireless backup camera. Now, if you want to check it out, I've dropped affiliate links in the description below. The coupon code is down there too. Oh, and I'm releasing this on Prime Day 2026, and the code works on top of any great Prime Day discount. So, if you enjoy this type of content, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. It really helps out the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next adventure.